Okay, as we move over to getting closer to the breakout sessions and the exhibit halls, we want to give you a look inside of our program committee and the sausage making, if you will, of what occurred in terms of determining who was speaking at this year's conference. And we couldn't have done this without our three program committee co-chairs, and you see them here on the screen and their email addresses if you want to reach out to them. But Joanne Sexton from Augusta University, Diane Miller from Northrop Grumman, and Jeremy Epstein from National Science Foundation. Thank you all, program chairs, and I turn it to you.
You ready for us?
Ready when you are, Diane.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Randy, for the kind introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Diane Miller, the Director of Technical Talent Strategy for Northrop Grumman Corporation. I've been delighted to serve as the industry co-chair for the NICE 2020 conference. And on behalf of my fellow co-chairs for government and from academia, and all the volunteer members of the conference program committee, I welcome you to this year's conference. We've seen tremendous resilience, flexibility, and creativity across our cyber community this year. While many events were canceled or scaled way back, you'll find that the NICE conference is even better than ever. By flexing from several days in Atlanta to a virtual conference spread out over several weeks, we've seen the diversity of participation increase. We have greater representation from government, nonprofit organizations, K-12 education, and industry this year. And that diversity is important. We know that broad diversity in academic background, training, technical and professional experience, and perspective are key to creating the best solutions for our complex cyber challenges. As a global leader in cyber for decades, Northrop Grumman anticipated the shortfall of cyber talent and decided to become part of the solution. That's why we're involved with thought leaders like all of you in sponsoring the many educational activities and opportunities around the globe, including presenting sponsor of Cyber Patriot in the United States, which is an AFA program, Cyber Centurion in the United Kingdom, Cyber Sakura in Japan, Cyber Arabia in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Cyber Taipan in Australia. Today is their national finals. It's all very exciting. So we see that there are lots of opportunities in cyber around the world, and there are so many things that we can all do together to advance our cyber education and our outreach in workforce and professionalization. So I encourage you all to take advantage of the many opportunities that you will find during the conference this time. You'll know that it's not as difficult as in times past where you're really struggling to find just that one presentation that you'd like to attend because there's a fabulous speaker. Well, now with it being spread out, there's a lot less conflict. You have an opportunity to attend lots of different things. This year's conference is so much more accessible than it's been in the past. Perhaps it's the virtual platform for all of it, or maybe it's because we aren't spending money and time on travel. But I would encourage you to continue reaching out. There are accommodations for those of us that like to reconnect with friends in our professional network, as well as make new friends. So enjoy those chat rooms and the networking opportunities. There is so much that this year's conference has to offer. And we certainly could not do any of this as your program co-chairs without the outstanding leadership of Randy from FIU and Rodney from NICE and our friends at New America. So thank you all for joining us. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Joanne Sexton, who will talk a little bit about our presentation selection process. Joanne?
Greetings, everyone, from Augusta, Georgia, home of the Georgia Cyber Center and Augusta University. I am Joanne Sexton of the School of Computer and Cyber Sciences. It has been my pleasure to serve as the academic co-chair for this year's NICE conference. In my role, I would like to share with you our conference proposal review and selection process. The program committee received 122 high quality proposals, a number we were pleased by. You have to understand, well, I mean, we all know how difficult this year has been. At the time that everybody put in their proposals, we were really uncertain whether we were going to go face-to-face, virtual, or what really was the plan. Well, of the 122, the program committee accepted 32 across a diverse group of presenters representing industry, government, and academia. All submitted proposals received an in-depth evaluation by at least 2 reviewers who scored against a standard rubric that detailed 6 specific criteria that the program committee was looking for. After this initial evaluation, all proposals were then again reviewed by the entire program committee coming back together as a whole, and we voted on whether each proposal would be selected outright, placed on hold for further consideration, or rejected based on meeting all, some, or a few of our predefined acceptance criteria. I found it inspiring to work with our diverse program committee team and appreciated everyone's input and sound insight. But enough about our selection process. Let me turn the mic over to Jeremy, who will speak to you more about this year's NICE conference.
Thanks, Diane and Joanne. It's great to be here with you. I'm Jeremy Epstein. I'm the lead for the Secure and Trustworthy Cyberspace SATC program at the National Science Foundation. I'm pleased to be the government co-chair, and as I said, I joined Diane, Joanne, and the rest of the team in welcoming you. NSF has deep involvement in cybersecurity education. The SATC program funds cybersecurity research. There's about 1,000 research projects at any given time, and nearly all of those include undergraduate and/or graduate students as part of the research. The Cyber Corps Scholarship for Service program, SFS, which is a sister program to the SATC program, supports hundreds of current students working to earn degrees and starts careers in cybersecurity, and has graduated thousands of students since its inception. Since we have a chat, I'll invite anybody, or excuse me, a Q&A, I'll invite anybody who is an SFS alum to say hello in the Q&A session, and just so we know who you are. Some of the presentations you'll hear today and over the next few weeks in our distributed event are people who either lead SFS activities or are current or former SFS students. I hope you'll hear about their accomplishments and consider applying to join SFS as a student, faculty member, hosting student, or hire the graduates of the programs into government agencies at the federal, state, local, and tribal levels. In developing the 4 tracks for this online conference, as we focus on this conference in particular, we spent a lot of time discussing the needs for addressing the nation's need for increased numbers of people from diverse backgrounds in the cybersecurity workforce. We were also making decisions, as Joanne and Diane talked about, as the COVID pandemic started sweeping the world, and we struggled with how to ensure that the information presented is relevant in these very unusual times. To do this, we've organized presentations into 4 tracks. Career discovery: how do we portray the variety of cybersecurity roles, promote multiple cybersecurity career pathways, and increase the supply of qualified, diverse talent into the cybersecurity workforce. Second, the talent life cycle. How do we re-engineer the human resources and talent acquisition to promote competency-based hiring, develop innovative career pathways, and facilitate the mobility of workers? Third, the learning ecosystem. How do we leverage diverse learning environments, solutions, and assessments to equip people with the capabilities to contribute successfully to the cybersecurity workforce? And fourth, effective leadership. How do current and future leaders remain effective, enable their team to thrive, and keep up their own competencies in the face of uncertainty while developing a diverse workforce to meet the evolving cyber threat landscape? As I've said, and as you've seen on the webpage, we've organized each of the 4 weeks into a sub-theme. Today's theme, growing and sustaining the NICE community. Next week's theme on Thursday, November 5th, transforming the learning ecosystem. And then Monday, November 9th on career discovery, and Monday, November 16th on the future cybersecurity workforce. While relevance to COVID wasn't a requirement for submission or acceptance talks, I mean, none of us knew how big COVID was going to be at the time we were setting up the program. I think you'll find that many of the speakers are addressing how to provide educational resources in the current challenging environment. I hope you'll find the talks today and over the next 3 weeks to be informative, and you'll engage virtually with all of the speakers. I'd like to thank my colleagues in thanking the program committee, and Randy, if you'd put up the list of program committee members, as well as our colleagues at FIU, New America, and NIST, who did the heavy lifting to make this event come together. An especially big shout out to Rodney Peterson and Randy Bastana, who led the 3-ring circus to today. And with that, I will turn this back to Randy.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Joanne. And of course, thank you again to all of our program committee members. It was a big, heavy lift, especially in an uncertain year, but we're excited to have a fantastic program that we will now be able to let everybody go to. So if we can put up the slides, we're going to move over now to our exhibit hall break from 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So going to the 6Connect application, which many of you are on, make sure you go there, check out our exhibitors. We have great sponsors, great partners that are going to be participating, or go over to the networking room and be able to chat with fellow cybersecurity professionals over the next half hour. We will then reconvene, and next slide, please, to the breakout sessions for the 4 tracks that Jeremy outlined: career discovery, the talent lifecycle, the learning ecosystem, and effective leadership. You should have all received an email as well with the direct links to those if you are unable to go through the 6Connect platform. But we look forward to seeing you at 3:30 p.m. We'll look forward to talking to you soon. And thank you again for joining us this year for the 2020 NICE Conference and Expo.